I'm just me. I know exactly who I am. Being me, they find outrageous.
Hello, Sherrie Hewson here, another podcast. So I'm here at the Clifton Arms in Lytham Towns, the most beautiful hotel you could possibly wish to come to. So when you're in Lytham, come and see. I'll be sitting having a coffee or worse. So just come and say hello. So now, next podcast. One of my favourite people in the world. She is gorgeous. She is talented. I'm not going to say any more because it sounds really bad to keep bigging her up. But it's the wonderful Harriet Thorpe. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. And thank you very much for that intro. I'm glad you said everything I wrote on my script. So thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm good, Bob. Thanks. Yeah,
I know
all
it's
good.
been a while, hasn't it, since we've seen
Yeah,
each other? I
too
know.
long.
I know. But you know, people think of you as British, ab-fab, and now, of course, EastEnders. But I've got something to say to you.
Oh, God.
Of
Okay,
course,
go on.
there was always, and I have to read it out to you, morons from outer space.
Yes,
Now,
indeed.
this was with Mel Smith, Chris Rhys-Jones, Jimmy Nail, and the wonderful Dinsdale Landon.
I know,
So
dear.
what was that the highlight? Morons from outer space. I think you lived on somewhere called Blob or somewhere, didn't you?
I think so, yes. It's been so long, darling. I just know it in my credits, and that's about as far as I remember.
And also, it says here that there
Mm.
was a £5 million budget on it.
I don't
bet you
think I
didn't-
received any of that, no.
It makes me laugh to think that that's. I can't imagine. I must try and find it.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't think I've ever seen it,
Can
to
you
be
not
honest.
remember anything about it?
No, darling. No, not a thing. I just
That
say
is
yes
so
to
fun.
everything as we do.
I
So
know, I know you do particularly. But you know, it's gone down. It says here, it's gone down as a budget classic film.
Well,
And
I'll take all credit then.
And it's alongside Anton Deck's Alien Autopsy, two classic budget films.
Well, you can't ask for more.
You can carry that on your headstone. You can have that on your headstone. How exciting! Yeah. But you know, the funny thing is with you, Harriet, you can't find any scandal on you. There's no
dear,
scandal,
naffle.
nothing, is there?
Naffle, dear.
You must have slept with somebody who is quite shocking or outrageous. You must have done, because there's no scandal at all. Did
Darling,
you never do
I've
anything scandalous?
Darling, I've sealed over 3 days' notice and a blowtorch. There's more cobwebs than Halloween. I simply can't remember. I know we had the 80s, which was fun and free, and you didn't care about anything. But yeah, there's plenty of things. I just haven't mentioned them, dear. And I'm not going to now.
I can just imagine. I know you so well. I could just imagine that there have been times when you've gone, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
No, I don't think one ever says shouldn't. It's just won't do that again.
Won't do it again because somebody might see and I might be caught.
But
now, EastEnders. I mean, how fabulous. Is it 3 years now?
I'm about to start my 4th year, yeah.
Fourth
Isn't that
year?
crazy? I'm about to start it now. Yeah, isn't that mad?
That is mad because,
yeah.
I mean, I remember when you got it and we all went, oh, wow. Well, you've got that for a year then. And now look at you, going into your 4th year.
I know. It's been the most glorious, amazing time. And you've had so much more experience in that arena than I have. But it's that thing of, it's such a different vibe. You never say the same thing again.
No.
You don't learn the lines, you just remember them, because then they're gone.
That is true. There's no learning lines. There's no rehearsing.
No.
There's
no. What's that word? No.
Yeah, none. You just go in and you get a script. You go, I don't know. Okay, I'm ready.
There you go. Exactly.
Go.
And the wonderful thing is that the more you do, which I'm sure you identify with in all the iconic things you've done, people begin to write for your character more.
Yes.
So it comes naturally more and more. You just ease into it because it's the persona that you're giving. You know.
Yes,
them.
and the lines then belong to you. Rather than getting a script and going, ooh, I'm not sure this is me.
No,
but you can't do that. In the
beginning,
beginning, you do, because you think, well, is this the character I've brought, or do they? And the funny thing is about soaps. I remember going into this is when I first went into Coronation Street. I remember a director saying to me, because I talked like that when I went in, and he went, "What's
Aye.
you doing? What are you doing?" He said, "I know it's northern, but you're not northern. You're from the Midlands. You don't talk like that." And he said, "And nobody here talks like that either." He said, "If you're not careful, you're going to be talking like that for the next whatever years you're in this, and you'll end up talking like that because you'll exaggerate." And he said, "Just speak with your own voice." And it was the first lesson I ever learned about a soap. Don't try and put an accent on, or,
No.
because you think it's, Liverpool or Manchester, or
Yeah.
don't. You've
No,
been
exactly.
employed because of who you are, not some weird person talking like that when people don't actually talk.
But
But
you're
you
so
didn't. You
right.
didn't do that though, did you? You went
No,
in
but the
as
thing, I went because at drama school in the 70s, late 70s, beginning of 80s, everyone was taught to speak like this,
yeah.
and nobody was allowed accents. But 3 generations back, my great great grandmother, she was a washerwoman down Mile End. So I talk like this as Elaine because that's who she is, darling. And it's the
Fabulous.
same. And I realised I never used my own voice for anything. In British Empire, it was trying not to
No.
cry all the time. And in Ab Fab, she's really, really, has a really weak heart. So I never do me. I only do the women that I'm supposed to do like this.
Yeah, I love that though. I love that accent, and also working with Colin. I mean, he is just one, beautiful, and two,
Yes.
a fabulous actor,
I
isn't
know
he?
it's a tough time for me having to work with him, obviously.
It's very
But
tough.
what's hysterical, as always, we're now divorced, darling.
Yes.
And he's with someone else, and I don't need a man at the moment. Thank you. Been
No,
there,
none
done
of
that.
us
Move
do.
on.
You see, this
Thank
is
you,
it.
dear.
We've been through
Nah.
that story many times, haven't
Oh,
we?
many a time and
It's-
oft.
enough, enough. But the thing is, though, I mean, it's such an exciting time for you right now, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, I know you don't know how long you'll be there. No one knows in this silly job of ours how long you're on anything for. But for them to be writing for you as well, creating,
It's such an
it's.
honour. And now to have Peacock Palace, because I'm a lone peacock.
I know. So
Uh,
tell us
it's
about this.
Oh God, it was as soon as I knew it was going to be Peacock Palace, which I'd suggested to them because my daughter had suggested it to me, and I immediately rang them and said, "Can we call it Peacock Palace?" And they went, "Yes." So,
Funny.
which was heaven. As soon as when I went to Dunelm or wherever, and I saw a peacock lampshade or something, I'd send it to the to the creative, amazing designers. And
Yeah.
it's absolutely divine because it's that again, it's that kind of grandiose, pretentious, needing to theatrical make a statement about the characters. I mean, we both only play crazy ladies
Yeah.
all the time, and so it's such a joy. And the fact that my daughter loved flamingos and I don't have one flamingo in the building, you know.
So what's going to be the story? Or, I mean, I know you can't give in storylines. I'm not
Well,
saying
no,
that, but
the story. Well, already, I mean, at the beginning, Peacock Palace opened, and what's playing now is that Ian Beale is trying to shut it down at every
why?
corner. So we're beginning to go to war.
Oh, why does he want to shut it down?
I think I think I don't know. He's petty, isn't he? Unlike my
He's
character.
jealous. Jealous.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I called him a 2-bit pie shop owner yesterday.
Yes, I would
So
too. Yes.
I think he's just jealous, and it's joy because there's real important, like we know on soaps, important drama that tells stories, whether it's abuse or whatever, they matter, and then joyously I get to do, like the street app that we all have. It's the petty
Yeah.
dramas that I'm able to play out, who's not done their flowers in the front of their garden properly, or, so I get the chance to do drama and a bit of kind of, petty
Comedy.
drama, which
But
is
the thing
heaven.
is,
Yeah.
what these soaps lack a lot is comedy.
Because
That's
it
what
used to be that, didn't it?
yes, particularly Corrie.
Yeah.
Not necessarily EastEnders, funnily enough, but I think your character has the potential to be the comedy lady. You know, I mean, I know she'll have probably heartache.
Oh,
That's what soaps are. But you'll have that comedy element, which is just fantastic, isn't it, for you to
yeah, I
play?
love it. I love it. I'm so grateful and lucky to be able to do the facet of characters that we all know anyway, is to
And
do
you've
this.
did it in everything you've done, though, haven't you? I mean,
I try to.
everything you've done is, you know, you've brought in so many different facets from all those different characters. I mean, Abfab particularly was my
Yeah.
favourite, but I'm sure it was yours. And you worked with all
Yeah.
those iconic women as well. You
Yeah, well,
know
I was at
that
drama school with Jen and Dawn,
I
and we've been
know.
friends since then. And so I was lucky enough to do Girls on Top, all the French and Saunders,
Yes,
to do all those sketches when they had sketch shows in those days. They don't have them
they
anymore.
did. And I
Ah,
did television series called Radio,
yeah,
and Jennifer wrote it. They both wrote it together. They were writers
yeah,
going back a long time, and they were young writers. And they came on and they wrote scenes. It was a drama about a
yeah.
radio station, highly exciting. And they came and wrote. And I remember meeting Jennifer. I hadn't got the nerve to tell her because I didn't know whether she'd go, "Don't mention that. Don't mean, you know what I mean?" Because they wrote it and we never saw them again. They disappeared. So I don't know if they actually enjoyed it. You have to say to her, did she enjoy writing
I
radio?
will. I'll
If
ask her.
ever
I'm
you
sure
speak.
she will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was brilliant stuff. Then they went on to write their own stuff. And, you know, this is long
yeah,
before the two got together, I suppose. But also the people that you've worked with have all been fascinating. All those women
yeah,
are fascinating, aren't they? And still
yeah.
there. And
And
still
they
there.
changed it for women today.
Yeah.
They changed the whole arena. And Vic Wood, again, was a best mate and
Oh,
working with her. And it's just how they revolutionized our world as women.
yeah.
And, we're so lucky, Sherrie, because we were in an era when you could do drama and comedy and whatever else. Whereas now you're kind of just allowed one thing,
Well,
you know.
funnily enough, when I left drama school, which was in 71,
Mm.
that wasn't true. You could
No,
only do
when you do
drama
one. Yeah.
and only do
God forbid.
comedy.
I
And
know. It'd be, yeah.
if you were doing a drama, I used to do period drama, strangely enough. And then
Yeah.
I suddenly went over to In Loving Memory with Thora Hird, which was a period comedy,
Yeah.
but couldn't go backwards. I couldn't go back into drama until
But
much later on when it
you're
was
absolutely
okay.
right. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I remember I only wanted to work at the Royal Shakespeare Company, who sadly have never employed me, but I have done Shakespeare elsewhere. And I never, the idea of doing anything else would be professional suicide. If you did a commercial, if you
Oh,
did anything else, you would never do it. Nowadays, everyone's doing everything, and
I
rightly
know.
so.
And when I left drama school, I had to get in the days when you had to get a red card and you had to do them 42 weeks in the theatre to get a
That's
blue
right.
one. But to get the red card, my agent at the time, he said, the only way we're going to do this is if you do a commercial. And he said, but you're not allowed to be seen. So I said, okay. And I remember it was a period, it was like jousting, and I had a
Yeah.
wimple. And it was a chocolate bar. And he said, what you have to do is hide behind either the horse or the knight that you were supposed to be getting the favours from, the
Yeah.
handkerchief. And he said, and stick the chocolate bar down your front so no one can see your whole. Well, I was
Oh,
very
don't.
young and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But he said, if you're seen, that's the end of your career. And I did the whole thing like that. And he said, you did it. We'll try and get the rest of you cut out. But I got my card, and it was the only way in those days you could get a card, and then 42 weeks in the
Amazing.
theatre, playing
Can I just
everything.
check? Can I just check with you what happened to the chocolate bar down your front?
It
Did it melt?
disappeared. It
Oh, did it?
melted. I was so hot in those days. I was a very different girl in those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, you are so right.
it is. But then you had to get that card. Without that
Yeah.
card, you couldn't work.
No work. But again, it was, I mean, I was growing up because, I grew up in LA because my mum was a writer. And so, again, there was East Coast, West Coast. East Coast was theatre and musicals. West Coast was television and movies. And also there was no crossover between television and movies. And also there was daytime TV or nighttime TV, and they didn't have a crossover. Now every film star is
Wow.
doing television. Every film star is
Everything.
doing Netflix. It's
And
all changed.
commercials. And
Yes,
Will Ferrell does one for an airline,
there
where
you go.
and you go, what's that? It's me. I know your mum was a writer in America. So
Yeah.
did you not want to be there and live
Well,
there?
I never thought, because she wrote The Leather Boys, which is a gay classic about
Yeah,
working class biker boys who fell in love when it was illegal to be gay in the early 60s.
yeah.
That was her novel. And then that novel was made into a movie, and she wrote that movie with Rita Tushin and Dudley Sutton. And then that started her movie
Wow.
career. So when I was 8, that's when we went to LA. But again, it was exactly what you're describing about the early 70s, was that the only place to work was here, and it was valid theatre, which is what everybody wanted. The other
Yeah,
stuff was superfluous. And again, I've done loads of musicals, but again, there was that thing: if you do a musical, then you can't do ordinary straight theatre in the early days. Whereas now you do everything.
everything. Well, and quite right too.
I mean,
You
I've
know,
never tried to work there. I've never tried to work there,
really?
which no, because I always thought I was doing the right thing to work here. And then if you
Oh,
get
how
a good
funny though.
TV job, if you get a well, now is, if you get a good TV or film here, then they're going to want to work there. But often it's really tough working there too. And Hollywood, they're filming elsewhere as well as Hollywood, so it's all shifting and
Well,
changing, and
a
you
lot
know,
have come here.
yeah,
They used to be in Pinewood. Now it's
yeah,
Manchester and places like
yeah,
that. And
everywhere, yeah,
quite right too. But
yeah,
the amount of work has gone. There isn't that kind of work anymore for actors,
yeah,
because
exactly.
times they are a changing, and we all have to reinvent ourselves somehow and be something else and somebody else. And
Mm,
the everybody like you that's in a soap are quite safe right now,
mm,
for the time being. But the thousands and thousands and thousands of others that, I mean, I feel very strongly about the young ones coming out of drama schools, 'cause I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know
yeah,
how they're going to work. I actually
yeah,
don't know. That's the sadness of it all, is that
yeah.
there are hundreds, as drama schools. What are these kids going to do
I know.
if our
The
world's
only thing
gone?
that's, yeah, and you're absolutely right. The only thing that's amazing is that we have the phone in our hand, which has, whether we like it or not, social media, and
Yeah,
people can and do things and promote themselves and get
in
amazing
other
followings from
ways,
their in
yes.
comedy and all sorts of things by doing stuff online, which we didn't have. We had to wait for somebody to say, okay, we'll look at you. And now we do self tapes every 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But we can, and people can now, if they want to, do their own comedy thing and put it on TikTok, and then
Well,
people will see it.
I say to kids now, television is YouTube now.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it is. And I
Yeah,
always say to kids, if you want to, get out there. You've got a history, even if you're like 25, you've still got a history.
yeah,
Write it yourself. Go and get a
absolutely
camera.
right.
Spielberg, that's how he started when he was a very young kid. He went and
Yeah,
got a little camera and he filmed all his friends. And then he turned them into bits of movies. I said, go
yeah,
and do that. Go and write it
yeah,
yourself. Go and get a camera. Go and get your friends. Write it yourself. Put it out there. Put it on YouTube. Put it on, I don't know, anywhere. And that's how you'll
exactly.
create a career.
And they are
Don't wait.
absolutely right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're so right, because that is the way forward. And we don't
Yeah.
have control. But the fact that we have that at our fingertips means you don't have to wait for somebody to, because as you said, there's no rep theatre anymore.
Nope.
There's no, you've got to have enough followers to get involved in various bits and pieces. So that is the way, whether we like it or not, the world is changing. And that's
Completely.
the only option they have now.
Well,
You
AI
know,
has changed it anyway.
oh, I know,
One.
don't.
And
Yeah.
also, what people want. I mean, if you look at the influencers now that do all
Mm,
the big reality shows, that they use influencers, because influencers have probably 2 million followers, and and so they're employable, and that's a slight worry. Times are changing, and we all have to look at that, and then go forward.
yeah.
If you're not in a soap, then you have to reinvent yourself to do something else and create another world for yourself, don't you? That's what you have to do next.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
but much more importantly than that, you have a grandbaby,
I do.
a little
I know.
girl.
I know. It's heaven. And you know it better than me.
Oh, heaven. What's
Yeah.
her name?
Honey.
Of course it is. Oh,
She's divine.
how
It is
is she?
amazing, isn't it? That, I mean, as we go along the conveyor belt of life, you think, oh, it's not about me anymore. Apparently, it's about the next generation and their generation. When your child has a child, it's really bizarre, but wonderful.
It's bizarre and shocking
Yeah.
and too hard to take on board. And then
Yeah.
that little thing becomes completely part of your body.
100%.
Your heart, your soul, everything is that little creature. And
Yeah.
it's a very different relationship. Do you
Completely,
not think?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And I also think it's that thing, when you've got your own kids, you don't think about it, you just look after them. When I first had to hold her and I was like, oh my God, I'm terrified I'm going to drop her. I
Drop
never
her.
thought of that when I was being a
No,
mother.
you just
don't think
chucked it on the chair, yeah.
Exactly. But nowadays you think, oh, I've got to do this right and that right, and are my nails too
know.
long? And oh, for sake, I know.
And
nuts.
also, what my little one, my little
Yeah.
granddaughter is 6. So I'm always thinking, oh, I hope I haven't said the wrong thing. I hope she isn't hurt by that. I hope she doesn't think I'm... And of course, they don't think anything at all.
No.
You know, I go, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I shouldn't have said it like that. And of course, you're dealing with a 6-year-old, but it's because they are your life, you
Yeah.
know, and you don't want to hurt them or,
No,
you know, and it's funny, isn't it?
You just want them to be happy.
And I ended up hating going to work because I wanted to be with them. But where does your granddaughter live then?
She lives
Is she
down
far
the road.
away?
No,
Oh,
she's really
well.
near, so that's great. So I get to see her all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
And
which
you
is
don't
heaven.
take her to work, I hope.
Not yet.
Well,
Probably
if
next
ever you
week.
need a baby
Yeah.
in Peacock, you'll have to take her there.
Well, yeah, I'll just put her in the drawer like I did in British Empire.
So what is your kind of... I often think about you and I often think, what would you have done had you not done what you've done now as an actor? What would you wanted to have done?
I know it's bizarre, but I quite wanted to be a midwife when I was younger.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I loved that sort of
That
baby
is bizarre.
thing. I know. But I think, again, I wanted to be a dancer. I was doing ballet at the Royal Ballet School.
Yeah.
And then my tits grew, and you can't get them into a tutu. So I had to stop doing that. And so I don't know. But I think also I also coach people in business, you know, to not be afraid to speak and how using what we do in life.
Like presentation skills.
Presentational training, yeah.
Yeah. So you do that anyway.
I do that anyway.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, we know not to be scared. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to one person or 1,000. It doesn't make any difference because we have that front.
Do you go to colleges to do that, or do you do it as a corporate thing?
It's business and colleges. It's everything. It's because
so
I think
go and what do they want you to say though? What are they looking for?
I think it's just talking to people and seeing how people do speak publicly. They get up, they do, you know, whatever, and then you go, well, you know, then you hold the mirror up and say, what do you think of that? And it's just, again, giving people the freedom to make a choice, not to be frightened. Whereas, you know, we have first night nerves, we have all that stuff. Does it serve me today? No, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But
no,
I can't. I'm like this, and no, you're not. Make a choice. Make a choice and get on with it, because why not? So it's that.
I agree. And also presentation skills is for life. You know,
Yeah,
everybody's
100%.
an actor. Everybody's an actor. Whether you're a priest, whether you're a shop assistant, everybody's an actor. And if you learn how to do that, I always say to kids, if you learn how to fake it, you'll be fine. Exactly like sex, really.
What's that word? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what it is either.
No. But I think we can't be defined by one thing, and I never have been. And it doesn't matter whether I've been a waitress or whatever. I'm not going to be defined by anything or anybody, because then if they're not there, you're nothing. And we've never done that. We have to do, you know, more than one thing. But of course, there are things we want to do, like we love our job. Our first job is performing and acting. But if we can't do that, there's got to be other jobs that fulfill us and we get fulfillment from too.
Well, I
No.
mean, that's what I'm saying about people out there now. That's what I say when I meet people. Don't do that. Don't fret that there was never. I mean, I come from a time when you did work, and I always say, don't look at me, because I came from a time when you worked 52 weeks a year.
There you go. Yeah.
Doesn't exist now. You
No.
have to create something else, particularly if you have to earn.
I get
Like
that
you and
thing,
I have
yeah.
to earn. If you don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to earn, it's a different game. You can do what
Yeah.
the hell you like. You don't have to work. But I think it's funny, isn't it? How you and I have come through this time, and we're still out there. We're still willing to keep going.
But again, that's that thing, is we keep evolving. We don't stay the same person or think we have to be this person to succeed.
No,
we keep
never.
moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And my strapline for my character Elaine is get off the pity pot, crack a smile, and get on with it. That's
as in life.
As in
in
life.
all of our lives, yeah.
Seriously, because otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah, what's
this
you
is
here
our
for?
chance. Yeah, hello. We get one chance.
Yeah, and also it's the I have insomnia, so I have nights of waking up at 2 a.m. thinking, right, if I do, and I tell my head and I'll say, let's think about this in the morning. Let's sleep now.
Does it listen?
No.
No, I don't sleep much either. I go to bed late and I get up early and I'm awake in the night. That's the deal.
Yeah, what is that? And I know exactly what the time is when I wake up. I'll go, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 4:15, it's 5:15.
Yeah.
I'll say, what does it matter? Just go to sleep.
No,
and
that's not happening.
then I at 5 o'clock I'll go boom till 6.
Yeah.
And I think, oh God, I'm knackered now.
I know. But
why didn't you sleep when you could?
You had your chance. But
Yeah.
I'm a really good napper. I can nap, really.
Can
I can do
you?
like 10 minutes, done, and then I'm rebooted.
Actually, I can nap, and I quite like napping as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of quite exciting. That's how sad my life is. An
Doesn't get any
exciting
better.
nap.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better. I know.
But it is amazing.
Do you ever miss doing musicals now you're ensconced in Walford?
I love whatever job I'm doing. That's the one I love.
Right.
And I love doing them all. And
but you're great in musical. I mean, you're a great singer. So do you still sing sometimes?
Sherrie, I have a voice that should clean ovens. We know this. And I'm an actress who sings. I'm not a West End singer. I can sing in tune, and I only ever play an old tart or a wicked witch. That's the kind of imagery that I have now. So I'm always playing a crazy lady. But I love it. And there's something about doing musicals, singing, dancing. When you do that stuff, you come out at the end of the evening on a high because your body's just doing that. And also, I mean, you do it for a year. And sometimes I've sat in things like Wicked for 2 years. And it was amazing because then that's your nighttime family. Then, and it's a joy and an amazing thing to do because then you have your days free and then you go and do a few hours work at night. Thank you very much.
But there is a difference, isn't there, of like when you do theatre, you have to keep repeating it.
Exactly.
Whereas
and then
if you do telly and films, I like the immediacy of telly and films.
Absolutely. And also there's that thing when you're doing 8 shows a week, you're doing, I don't know, a 2-show Friday night or something. You think, I don't know what show I'm in. And then bizarrely, you don't know what you're saying either because you don't know. You do it so often, you don't know whether you've said it already.
And also, I've just finished Panto.
Yes.
And it is
amazing.
such a hard slog, Panto. But friends of mine who were in Panto, like, my mate Les Dennis, he was doing 3 a day on a Saturday. And he said, I don't know whether I'm Arthur or Martha. He said, well, come in. He said, 10 o'clock. What was it?
10 o'clock, 2, and
Yeah, and 7.
Yeah.
He said, by the time you get to 7, you go, I've said this. Haven't I done this? Have I done this scene? And he said, sometimes I wouldn't go on. Go, you're on. I go, oh my God, I've just done this twice before. That I don't enjoy.
Yeah. No.
I don't enjoy that. I mean, that's because you're only just walking through it because you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
You don't get that with telly and film, do you?
No,
the
you don't.
immediacy
You
is
absolutely
fantastic.
But the thing about...
You
Go
did
on.
the Ab Fab film, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, that must have been fantastic.
That was wonderful. But again, it's that fantastic thing of, you know the character. We've done the character for 25 years or whatever.
And we're working with those people.
Working with friends again, it's fantastic. And again, it's just what's so interesting is a film will take 7 months. But as you know, in soaps, you're making a movie a week. You do 2 hours a week, if not more. And you do that in a week, whereas movies take 7 months.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
True. And soaps are they're just endless, aren't they? They're daunting and they're endless, and then you go home with another 6 scripts, and you look through it and go, I can't do these.
I know.
Are these like what do these like?
And you never film in storyline sync. You're always doing the last scene of the thing first.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But again, it keeps you awake. It keeps you alert. It keeps you on track. And and again, you're suddenly thrown. I mean, I'd never hit anyone or been hit in my life. And by the time I ended my 2 years in EastEnders, I was a fully qualified slapper. I'd slapped 2 people and been slapped.
Well,
So,
I've always called you a qualified slapper anyway.
Well, I know that.
Regardless of that.
And you're absolutely right. Thank you.
I am
Takes one to know one, Sherrie. That's all I'm saying.
Completely. But I mean, when we did our lockdown radio thing, that was something that kept our heads alive, wasn't it?
Kept us sane. Yeah.
It kept us sane because
it kept us being us.
And a reason to get up.
Yeah.
A reason to get ready, put slap on, do your hair, and then talk nonsense. But no change there then. But actually, if I'm honest, it kept us going, didn't it?
It was fun. It was creative. It was always changing again. And again, it wasn't. We had the reins.
Yes.
It wasn't. We weren't being told. And again, when you're stuck in home, as we were in those lockdowns,
it was just awful.
Suddenly it gave you freedom.
But we did have lovely guests as well, didn't we? We
amazing people.
Amazing guests. Because I always remember do you remember when we had the real thing on? You to me are everything. I have that song has stayed with me forever. And we brought them back, didn't we? They hadn't been around for long, and then they were on everything. Everything, the real thing. And that song is still every day. And now my granddaughter sings it, my 6-year-old.
Oh, brilliant.
You do me are everything. And I love it. I love it. So we did it. It was the best thing that could have happened at the time.
It really was. It was the most creative, fantastic opportunity.
It was, because if you think of what happened to people in that time, it was dreadful, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Well, all the shows
no
shut
bubble.
down.
You had your bubble though, didn't you? Didn't you have Jack there then? You had Jack there.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, I think
your son was with you.
My son, my daughter. So we, and dogs and all of that. Same thing.
Have you still got your doggies? No,
I've got a new dog. His name's Derek.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. He was a breeding dog in a cage for about 2 years, and then he was rescued by a lady who sadly got dementia and fed him a lot of jam sandwiches. And so when I was lucky enough to get him and bring him into my life, he's now 9. I got him when he was 8. He only has 3 teeth because of the jam sandwiches, but he is heaven. But he cares what room I'm in. He's, those things matter. I'm not alone. And even though he loves people, his first night was at the what's it called? The Vauxhall. His first night was at the Vauxhall Tavern, sitting on Alan Carr's lap.
And we were all there once upon a time.
Vauxhall Tavern, sitting on Alan Carr's lap, was his first night out, and he goes to the Ivy Club. He goes to Joe Allen because he's a social butterfly. However, he hates dogs, and that's a slight issue. He gets anxious. He only with his 3 teeth, and he's just a little bit bigger than a Pomeranian. But he's scared of other dogs, but he's getting training now, and he doesn't like to be left alone. So there's all those issues with dogs that have been rescued. How do you cope with
going to EastEnders then? Does he go there?
My daughter very kindly has him a lot, which is fantastic.
Okay.
And sometimes some wonderful dog walkers, those things. But it'll be great when he's had some new training and can settle his anxieties. But
bless him.
He
is 9 though. He is. I mean, what's 7 9s? He's 56, isn't he?
Well, that's a young man to me. Come on,
it's a young man.
Yeah.
Be a young man to me, I'll tell you.
My dad's
But
about to be 100 in June,
is
and
he?
he's still completely
I
self-sufficient.
love
He's
your
only
dad.
he's
He's
only just
so
stopped driving.
handsome.
He's heaven, and he's only just stopped driving, but he goes on cruises. And he said, "Oh, some really nice people on this year on the dinner table." I said, "Oh, some nice young people." I said, "Young? How old are they, Dad?" He went, "Oh, they're in their late 70s." But for
Oh,
him, who's almost 100,
that's
is
very
I guess that's
young.
young.
Yes. Yeah. Wow,
No, he's
100
amazing.
though.
I know, dear.
He is
He's amazing.
amazing.
I
And
mean, as I
he
said,
lives near you, doesn't he, if I'm
he lives
right?
near, but he has, yes, he
Yeah.
does. And he has people around for cocktails, drinks, dinners. He is unchanged. I ring him on a Monday, "Morning, darling, it's wash day. I've got the washing in," but he was an actor and left home at 14 to go and tour with Italia Conti during the war. And so, he's been one of us all his life, and so,
Oh.
it's that kind of thing is he just gets up and gets on with it and
No,
is
you can see
unchanged.
from your posts. I always
Yeah.
see him. I think, what a handsome young man he is.
I'll
That's
tell
why
him.
I always send messages because I
You
think he
do.
looks so wonderful. I
Thank you.
love him. But so the other thing I wanted to ask you about is
Yes, darling.
your walk the walk. So
Yes.
tell me about this. When
Well,
are you doing it next?
I'm doing it. I think it's the 16th of May this year. It's Walk the Walk, and I've been ambassador for about, I don't know, is it 25 years or something?
Have
And
you?
I joined it. Vic Wood and I did it together to start with because we wanted to do something that mattered. My mum had breast cancer and was a breast cancer
Yes,
survivor, and Vic and I did it. I think we did about 3 marathons because it's walking, it's not running, it's
I
walking
know.
together, and
Yeah.
that makes such a difference. And then she went on to do other things, and I stayed and have just dragged everyone that I ever known, except you, Sherrie. So maybe this year you
Yes.
can come and
Well,
join us.
you're in London though. That's the problem,
Oh,
aren't
okay.
you? Yeah.
Oh, was
Yes.
that the problem? Okay.
Yes.
But anyway, we're doing the half marathon. I'm doing the half marathon this year, but
Are
often I've just gone and
you?
done it. With the last 3 years, I haven't had time to do any training, so I just go and walk. But it's
Do
fine.
you?
Just get over
Is
it.
it?
Maybe you lose it.
Am I right?
Go on.
Paul O'Grady joined you at one point because I remember
I
Paul talking about walk the
I don't
walk.
I don't know if he did. I'm not sure.
I remember him walking with a
So many
bra on
pals.
anyway,
Yeah, well
but
then
that could
there
have
you
just
go.
been
So
his daily
any day,
routine. I don't
any
really
day.
know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the most amazing,
It is.
extraordinary thing because it's not only for people we've lost. It's so many charities under this umbrella of the MoonWalk, Walk the Walk, and it's just amazing and inspirational. And it's not about a race. It's for people we've lost, people we know who are going through it, and people who've
Yeah.
come out the other side, and that's what
Yeah.
matters.
I'm going to be involved in a charity. It's about which is really relevant right now,
Yeah,
saving young girls and young girls from abuse, and which is really big right now.
yeah,
I shall call on you when I've got it
100%.
going. And it's just
Yeah,
this because it's so sadly part of our lives.
I know. And
This terrible abuse that these
yeah,
and boys as well, not just girls and
mm,
young girls and women, boys as well. And it's part of our structure in this terrible world we live in, and we all have to fight and do something about it and be part, like you with your breast cancer. If you don't fight, if nobody knows, nobody
yeah.
can help, and you
And I was
have to
thinking,
really be part of it.
isn't it amazing? All the things that people used to be ashamed of, hiding things away, like abuse, like
Yeah.
cancers. Nowadays, as women, we can stand up and say, this isn't okay, and let's do something about it. And
Yes.
the generations before us couldn't do that. So the
No.
fact that you're doing this is so wonderful and
It's
testament to
it's
you,
so important that we all
Yeah.
get out there and we stand up and go, because I was in an abusive relationship long
Yeah,
before I was married. And so I've been there. I know what it means. And I know when people can't get out, can't get out of the situation, know why
yeah,
they can't, and people say, oh, they could just walk away. No, you can't. It's much more a mental problem, and they need help and they need somebody to talk to. And if we all put ourselves out, it wouldn't be as bad, but we've all got to help somehow. And I think everything like that, your walk the walk, this one, if we could all put our hand in and say, let's all be there for people, don't
absolutely.
let them hide away and be too frightened to come out and say anything.
How did you get out of yours?
Well, it's a very long story, and you haven't got enough life left for me to carry on with the story. And I certainly haven't got enough years left. But I think what happened was, it's a very silly story, strange story, the way I eventually got rid of this. But this person, I remember being in a play in Harrogate on the stage, and I was playing some kind of maid in, I can't remember what, period play. Anyway, I looked to the side of the stage, and he turned up, and he was standing at the side of the stage, and I hadn't seen him for a long time, and I froze. And
Of course.
all these actors went, oh my God, right, when that curtain comes down, before it goes up for the curtain call, get off that side of the stage, just run in your maid's uniform. And I did. So he didn't know. He thought I'd just gone off and I was coming back on. Ran into the street, flagged a taxi down in Harrogate in this, this nurse's uniform with nothing else, and said, take me to Nottingham to my mother. And this taxi did. Took me all the way
Wow.
to Nottingham. I went into my mother's, she lived in a maisonette at the time, I remember it, and I went in, and suddenly we saw another taxi turn up, and it was him.
No.
So she hid me behind a boiler, her boiler in her little cupboard, and I hid behind the boiler, and she let him in. And I can see him to this day out of the boiler looking
Yeah.
straight at me, but he didn't see my eyes. And she
Gosh.
said, I told you she wasn't here. And he left. And I never saw him again.
Did you get the police involved?
Yeah, everybody was involved. Yeah, eventually. And then eventually, of course, he died. Thank goodness. But it was a long, drawn-out story, a very, very long, drawn-out story. But the thing is, once you've been there and you know the fear, you know it never leaves you. Never leaves you. You know, if a man raises their hand, you automatically duck. So I know, and that's why I want to go out there and say, I've been there. I can help you. I can tell you how you get out of it. I can tell you how to be strong again and, you know, live again. So it's very important. But also young girls, young boys, the abuse is quite big. It's quite, you know, enormous now. And I don't quite know why. I suppose we're all talking about it, aren't we? Which is what you say about your walk the walk. If you talk about it, people will listen. They will listen and maybe do something about it and help people.
And
you know?
and knowing you're not alone and hearing, you know, what you just said, knowing you're not alone is everything. And
Everything.
there is hope and there is a choice. You may not be able to make it today, but with your brilliance and voice for them, they will learn that and get that choice.
And they'll go, come on, let's all sit together. And I'll tell you what you do. And you don't have to be afraid because I'm here. I'll come with you. And that's all you can do. But we have platforms, don't we? And your big platform now is EastEnders, which is fabulous because you have the power to create something now, don't you? That is, and that's the writers, what we should all do.
Yeah. And the writers write such important stuff for those soaps as well, to deal with exactly that abuse, to do with all the problems in life, loneliness, mental health issues, you know, all sorts of, they deal with it and they bring it into your home so you know you're not alone. And that's the brilliance
loneliness,
of soaps.
funny enough, I was saying the other day, loneliness is one of the biggest diseases ever now. The people that are lonely and can't get out of their situation. So that is one, and the soaps do hit on that quite a lot, don't they?
They do. And also, yes, exactly. And they give you the choice again to know there are choices, to know you're not, you know, isolated and just in your own head. Other people go through it all the time.
All the time,
no matter what it is, you know, and that's why. And as we've said so many times throughout history, we have reflected our world, whether it's a cave painting, whether it's Greek tragedy, it doesn't matter, whether it's a soap, whether it's Shakespeare. We are telling stories so we all hear it. And we know, you know, love, loss, life, they're all things we share, death. You know, it's all part of our lives.
I do think, I say to everybody, just remember, humour will get you through it all.
Absolutely.
If you can laugh at it all, you know, if you can find a way to find humour in it all, you'll come through the other end. Because doom and gloom won't do it. Because then you become, it becomes about you, and it's not about you. It's about getting out there, and humour can do it. And you and I both know that will, you know, get us through the whole thing. Both of
100%.
us are like that. We're both like that. And by the way, Your hair is enormous now.
Darling, what can I tell you?
I mean, it's got bigger and bigger and bigger since I
I
first
know.
met you.
I
It's
know, I can't
now
help myself. And somebody said to me, "Oh, is that these what do you call it?
extensions.
Extensions." I was like, "No, it's my own
No,
blooming hair.
no, I can see they're not. But you
It's my own hair."
you've got a horse's mane.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, I'll try not to take offence. I wouldn't take that from many people, Sherrie. Let me just tell you that.
I know, but a very pretty horse.
Thank you.
I love you very much, and I shall see you
Right back
very
at you.
soon. And thank you for coming on to this. It's been
an
fabulous.
honour and a pleasure, as
Oh,
always.
darling.
And thank you for having me.
Okay, I'll see you soon.